Welcome to the round of 32 here. We've got the Chuck U starter deck tournament here. I think my cam is, I don't know, maybe it'll fall down with the match and that could get the viewers excited or something like that here. We both have to play the same starter deck, so it is what it is. We're going second in this game. It sounds bad, but it's really all about value in this matchup. Possessed Acolyte's just a bad card. That's the second worst card. We really need some earlier game stuff at the moment. This looks early-ish, but I'm going to get rid of it. It's risky doing that last mulligan because you could get just a nibble. And honestly, I should just hard mulligan for not just a nibble. But we like drew the second, third, and like fourth worst cards in the deck. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, you know, most likely we're going to get something better. So we're using the power of positive thinking. Like if they take a tempo turn off here and just GP, they trade 1 for 1, but pretty much give up their first turn advantage. And they go ahead and just, yeah, remove minion. And now they are killing us. Yeah, unfortunately, in this type of situation, the value can snowball. And if they win the race to the Sanctum, then they basically dominate the game. They can do this in GP, and I just hope it's kind of down tempo. Maybe I can have a turn where I can steal something. No, we can have absolutely nothing. And they just gain tons of favor. This is how you get blown out in these type of starter decks, unfortunately. This game is not going to end well. They already have control of the Sanctum. So there's really not a path to victory already. Like I could concede right now, and it would be reasonable. That's how silly these starter decks go. They didn't brick on their opening hand. My hand was a little bit bulky in terms of cost. They had the Blight Bomb. I had a Blight Bomb too, but going second here, just this is brutal because they get the Sanctum. The Archer's probably the best buy. I'm hoping they buy the Rune of Strength and then don't have an answer for V-Rock, and then maybe I can get some value, but they're just going to elect to sit, and we draw the worst card in the deck, just a nibble. Yeah, this is pretty bad. I think the only thing I can hope for now is to get down below 15 and then pull some things with Possessed Acolytes. But realistically speaking, this is a really difficult situation. I think the fact that I'm playing stuff and getting blown out at the same time, it makes my story more believable. I'm not sure if that's worth anything, but yeah, this is pretty bad here. Yeah. I honestly, the worst thing he can do is attack with all of these, but he's probably not going to do that. He's probably going to attack with these two, and then we just lose. Oh, he attacked with everything, which is interesting. I think we still lose here. They can go forth. Yeah, they kill me in two, basically, in all scenarios. But we do have two Just a Nibbles. And the Axe Woman was a good top deck, so we get the double Possessed Acolytes. We're trying to work miracles here. I don't think that there's a reasonable path to come back, but if there is one, we're going to try our best here. And we can get 2 6/6s on the board next turn and actually play both Just the Nibbles, which is quite absurd. So the Rune of Strength. Are they going to peel the minion or not? Because if they don't, then we can kill this. Okay, they're going straight towards our face. So is there a way that I can just like survive this turn? I think we trade off both of these. We use both Just a Nibbles. We go to 15. We get 2 6/6s on board. Do I need to use both Just a Nibbles? Probably. I think we need to kill this. This is our best attempt. I don't think that there's ever a winning line for us doing this, though. I think we always lose with this strategy. But I had nothing else to attempt. I think they did make a mistake putting me down to 15, but the board was just so overwhelming that there's just not a realistic path to come back here. I mean, I have 2 6/6s, but they have the Sanctum as a second hand, which is quite devastating. I don't have answers for anything on their board. They can just go face and probably just kill us in 2 turns by just continuing wide. They might GP here to get some more value, and they've got plenty of 3/3 options available for them in the Sanctum. They probably can actually buy both. Yeah, they can buy both this turn if they would like. These can peel these two, and this guy, I guess, just gets peeled. But he's on the rope now. Again, I think it's just simple as go face. I guess we did leave him with the opportunity of making a mistake of trading into these, but realistically, it's difficult. Yeah, GP there. They're going for the value, which makes sense. Enraged ally. We need an Axe Woman, a Blight Bomb, and then probably 17 other miracles right now. You need to be able to peel this minion, and even if we peel this minion, we're dead to a lot of different things. That's not going to get it done, and we're going to lose game number 1 in pretty unexciting fashion. Game number 1, our opponent got the first turn advantage. They got the early board, and they got control of the Sanctum. There just wasn't anything we could have ever done in that game. So, pretty frustrating contest. We're hoping game number 2 goes a little bit better this time around. And we're going first, so already an improvement here. And we've got 2 good cards in our opening hand and 1 bad. We got rid of the worst possible card right there. And this is a good keep. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I could have gotten slightly more greedy on the mulligan, but I think this is good. We can conserve our pip. We can just flat out go for it. I kind of like going for it because this messes up so many of their T1 options. Let's do it. The reason why I like going for it is I have the backup on 2 if they've got the Blight Bomb. And they have a Tough Townsfolk, okay, and a Blight Bomb, wow. So they did indeed have the Blight Bomb, but this Bring Bloom Hunter could potentially get value into this guy next turn. That's going to be a key situation. Now, do they have the card that gives this +1 strength? Or I'm at +2 strength to go into here. We GP and play Dockside, and we do actually, in 2 turns, get +1 value in terms of card differential. But, yeah, the Blight Bomb last turn was pretty big. Makes it look like I should have gone with the Dockside. That being said, the Dockside doesn't do anything into the Tough Townsfolk either. So, it's a tricky situation. But this is a menacing minion for our opponent, because we're threatening to just go into the minion and then GP to get rid of the Tough Townsfolk. And in fact, he's just flat out attacking and healing his minion up. Interesting line for them. So, yeah, they didn't do exactly what they wanted to get done that turn. I probably Blight Bomb this. Yeah, so this is going to regen up to a 2/2. The Blight Bomb takes out this minion, and then we just get these 2 down for board presence sake. It's even though the Axe Woman isn't getting the blitz value, the fact that it's on the board, it can help generate us favor. And again, the Sanctum is a second hand in these. The Ambitious Adventurer is the best card overall, because this dies to GPs and this dies to GPs, so neither of those are really value. And we draw into Fellow Protector, which is just fine. This will hit there, that is as expected. This will hit there, and this will go face. We will see what we draw first. I like leading with the Tough Townsfolk because it's harder for them to exploit it if we lead with it, and they don't have a 2/3 already on the board, because we can peel most 2/3s in this situation. So I'm hoping that this can trade 1 for 1. This is a card that oftentimes your opponent can get plus value trade on. As we did earlier in this game, we did generate +1 card differential on the Tough Townsfolk. So this matchup is so much about value, and because eventually you're going to be able to play your entire hand. So we're always focused on the value here. Okay, this goes in there, this goes in there. It was just 2 1-for-1 trades. Nothing too severe happening. I have the option of trading off this minion instead, which might be correct. No, it's I think it is. The top deck of Just a Nibble was really, really bad. Be blunt about that. So I'm going to go with the Ambitious Adventurer because I don't think they can exploit it when I play the Fellow Protector. So that's the idea behind that line. We have a bunch of just kind of 2/2s sitting out there. And yeah, see if they... Well, I mean, we could have GP'd still, so it's not like a hard counter. And the idea is that when we attack here, we can GP, and we can get value out of this minion. So yeah, getting value there. Yeah, we'll just trade these and toss this hoplite out there. They're already out of cards. The awkward thing is we don't really have card advantage because we have 2 Just a Nibbles in hand. So it looks like we are achieving card advantage, but we have not actually really done as much as you think. Because the 2 Just a Nibbles offset a lot of the progress we've made. So this is just -2 in terms of card utility. And our opponent... I mean, we did gain, I think, 3 cards of plus utility. They draw a card. That could be Just a Nibble, by the way. They could have just drawn Just a Nibble. Blight Bomb can be useful later, even though it's not useful now. We love seeing the Archer in the Sanctum. It works very well with the Blood Ritual. V-Rock. So this is a questionable line, but the thing is if they get a 2/2 that turns into a 6/6 and all that stuff, then I think we just go straight to face and we beat them. Could be underestimating their potential on this turn. Or not underestimating their potential. So the player who got the first turn initiative in both games won in dominating fashion. Now we'll go to game number 3. So queuing up into game number 3 here. Obviously, the first 2 games were pretty blowouts and non-excitement oriented. We've actually had some more exciting games prior in the tournament that were more tightly contested early on. But so far, in both of these games, the person who went first had good draws, just kept the initiative, and then the Sanctum becomes your second hand and you just win. We're hoping that trend ends here in game number 3 as we're going second in the critical game. Eagle Nobleborn's a really bad card, but Blight Bomb and Axewoman are great. Dockside is actually pretty solid here. We have a lot of early game reactive type of plays here where we can potentially gain value and potentially seize the initiative. That is the dream goal. And Dockside is a very sneaky play. They can't exploit that on 1 either. So overall, I really like this hand's potential. We're obviously spamming out our hand very, very quickly. But that could be good, especially if they get out some bricks. If we're trading these 1 for 1, getting solid value, then we're feeling okay about things. Right, they have a Dockside, we have a Dockside. Unfortunately, we draw the worst card in the deck, so we're already -1 in the card differential and going second. You don't like to have that combination. That's not really good, and they're going to get their favor generation going. The Shield Maiden does indeed pose some potential value for our opponent here. And are they able to do anything else? The Axewoman. So they're just saying, hey, I'm coming out here with everything I've got, and there's nothing you can do about it. And to some degree, they are indeed correct here. There is very little we can do about that. I'm just going to do even trades. Unfortunately, we've got Just a Nibble. I've got to hope that they're holding Just a Nibble and that we're just going to kind of reach a standstill. Obviously, we've got 1 completely dead card in our hand. And they play a good card and then cycle. So hopefully they're holding Just a Nibble right now. We can... play the Blight Bomb. The Tough Townsfolk I would have really liked to have gotten out a little bit earlier, but hoping they can exploit it. If they play a 2/3 this turn, it works really bad. If they play something with 2 strength, then we can trade into it in GP, and we're happy to get 1 for 1 out of this. This is one of those cards that provides an opportunity for our opponent to get positive value, and they're going to seize on the opportunity here. Nothing we can do here but play that and pass. This is very, very bad for us. Very bad indeed. Disaster situation. They've got the Blight Bomb. They're getting the value. They're getting the favor. If they get to the Athenian Archer first, they win. We've got the just a nibble in hand, and unfortunately, I think that the end story of this game is going to be the just a nibble in our hand. I think that this is the difference. If we had a good card, we would have probably be advancing to the round of 16 because we did have a very good counter to their draw. But man, just the absolute brickness of having this in our hand just ruined us. It just absolutely ruined us here. And they can do this, and then we do this, but it's honestly, I don't see a pathway to victory here unless they draw both just a nibbles and completely brick out. They've already achieved plus value by killing the townsfolk. They're +2 with just a nibble in hand. They're wide. They're getting the sanctum. There's no hope here. There is no hope here. There's nothing we can do. Honestly, conceding is optimal. The only thing I can hope for is some weird play where I get down to 15 and then get just a nibble and then like possess the acolytes and pull some miracle with regards to that. I don't see that miracle happening. I mean, I can hope they make bad Sanctum purchases like this. The Card Shark was a horrendous Sanctum purchase. You buy the Archer, that's almost always a +2 card differential card in this matchup. They make a really poor decision, but does it matter? No, because in this format, you can't punish people who make mistakes. Because we made the mistake of drawing just a nibble. That's it. We went second, we drew just a nibble. And there's just ultimately no way you can come back from play mistakes that critical in this format. So here, they get the next pick from the Sanctum, and then they'll get the pick after that probably. There's really no hope for us here. They've got 1, 2, 3 extra cards. The V-Rock actually helps us draw into a Possessed Acolyte, which if they hypothetically went face with everything, they could, in theory, get themselves in trouble here, but, I mean, you would have to be a moron to do that, and I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying that they would have to be a moron to do that. Not saying they're not, but, you know. This is, yeah, there's just nothing here. I have to wait for this and try to get a Possessed Acolyte turn going. That doesn't mean it's going to be successful. It's just what I have to do. But yeah, they get us below. They play 2 more minions here and we can concede. I just got to hope that they draw them like the last 2 cards being just a nibble both times. And they're going to play a bigger minion. They're going to play a minion which is going to make a minion in their hand bigger. So we basically need a Blight Bomb off the top of our deck, and we've already played both Blight Bombs. So that's somewhat problematic. 5, 8, 10, and then 11. So when we heal up to 12, we are out of lethal range. We can get a 6/6. We can't reach this in the Sanctum. We draw literally the second worst card in our deck. In fact, just a nibble might be more useful than this at this stage of the game. At this point, they might have lethal here. 5, 6, yeah, they have lethal with the rune in the Sanctum. And there's just nothing you can do. There was nothing interesting about this game at any stage. It was just an absolute boring game. And I'm sorry to any viewers who tuned in, because you learned absolutely nothing. Going first is good. And getting the initiative is good. We drew just a nibble, and it's just a dead card. There's nothing you can do when you get negative EV like that. And we fall in the round of 32.